Nah, in all seriousness though, everyone here, especially the graduating class, deserves a round of applause. Looking out at this crowd, the smiles and the tears, the almost overwhelming amount of emotions, I find myself reminded of something that I love. Those big old family dinners. Those times what was so lively with laughter, smiles, sometimes even arguing, but always a time of love. I could not have asked for a better family. So here's to everyone, my friends, Sean, you're included, who have dealt with my antics, the Perones with so many awkward stories, the Pignatellis and their Italian sass, the Grinders and all that crazy food, the Timmons with those Grand Canyon birthdays, the Techs and those lovely 6 a.m. hikes, the Caninos who allow my part-time residency, and the Goldsmiths with all their guru ways. You guys are awesome. Beyond them, I've come to realize that in this small community, whether you like it or not, we're all family. This definitely includes school. During the past 4 years, there was certainly the good, the bad, and even the ugly, and I'm shocked I made it out alive. But regardless of all my complaining, a common trait of mine, I came to realize that I found another family and another dinner table among the crazy, ancient, and even ridiculous faculty of Highland High. They drove me nuts, and I'm glad to be rid of them. Oh right, I'm supposed to be saying nice things up here. Picture the Italian dinner scene again, except with everyone from the high school at the table. You're gonna need a lot of food. I'm sitting at one end being a sassy, bratty little sister calling people old and gray, Moriarty. How do they put up with me? At the head is the graying, slightly balding grandpa who rambles on and on about those war stories. Or should I say, soccer ones. That's right, it's Mr. Harris. I'm sure he's also going on about the injustices of the education system. We don't need dream crushers. We need people who see the potential in a child and help push them to infinite limits of success that rings true in this age of technology. Wait, what? By the time he's done talking, the food is cold and you don't know what the hell just happened. Next to him sits the mama bear, a lady you don't mess with. That's Miss Otis. She runs the show and ain't nobody arguing with that, especially with those CrossFit skills. The sassy meter's always rising with que pasas being thrown out, but you know she'll always have your back and help with any problem. You know you have it rough at that end of the table. First the crazy Gramps, then the overbearing mother, and now there's that uncle who thinks he's a hard ass. He speaks so loud, regardless if you're right next to him, and he believes he's still in Queens. I'm talking about Mr. Witty. He might always be grumbling under his breath, not sharing his Mountain Dew, and giving crushing bear hugs, but he's really a softie at heart. The next person might have been Mr. Cosolino, but honestly, he's way too well adjusted for this motley crew. Instead, we're stuck with that other uncle that you find sometimes they sound a little bit like the adults from Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. That's Mr. Masson. Now, this is the uncle that's gonna randomly spring things on you and then completely forget about them. Slide decks anyone? And trust me, you get frustrated, but you realize that overall, he's always goes out of his way to help. Possibly the worst person at the table, other than me, is the dreadful, equally bratty sister who you might as well call Miss Frizzle. That's Mrs. Meisel. She dresses weird, drinks weird tea, and says weird things, and you just can't stand it. But in all your wickedness, you realize that for better or worse, you're actually kind of like her, and what's so wrong with that? Luckily, or not so luckily, you're stuck next to a crazy uncle. Oh, brother. Here's the one that tells so many stories, and might even mention those super embarrassing times as his face gets bright red. Mr. Moriarty. Sometimes you have no clue what he's talking about. Other times he's making a fool of himself. But again and again, he deals with the constant old, gray, nursing home bingo night jokes with a smile. And as much as you hate to admit it, you really just might like this nice and genuine guy after all. Wait. There's gotta be a happy-go-lucky puppy in the family. And in the best of ways, it's Mr. Mango. That puppy walks around with a big old goofy grin, happy to just be there, and really just wants love and kindness in his life. Everybody loves him, and how couldn't you? He's got a rare zest for life and such a big heart. Wow, that's a rowdy bunch of people indeed. I'm surprised no one stormed off after a conversation about politics. Again. If I have to hear one more story about the good old golden days, I swear. Sure, we fight and insult and occasionally give that nasty silent treatment, but that hasn't driven us apart yet. There are those moments with teachers where I found myself plotting revenge or ways to make their lives miserable, but through it all, I'm glad that they were there for me. The same could be said of my family outside of school. I'd be lost in the world without you. And to my friends, oh, we've had some crazy times. Shoving mangoes in every crevice of Mango's room. That moment when Snyder's belly became the Buddha. Sword fighting with plants, secret fiestas, and do I dare mention the date 8/9/15? It was all a dream. Whether you're sweating in Arizona or freezing in Fredonia, I definitely won't forget the times we spent terrorizing these halls, and I'm gonna miss you all. There was never a dull moment. No matter how annoyed or frustrated I get with any of them, I wouldn't trade my collective family in and outside of school for the world. It's great looking back on this meal I've been a part of for such a long time. So it's true that my time at the dinner table of Highland High is ending, but I know that there'll always be a spot at the table for me and for all of you graduating. I'm holding the faculty to that one. But though we're leaving this one behind, there's always going to be more dinners to attend and more tables where we claim our own unique spot. Because what I've found, regardless of where you are or who you're with, is that you might sit down at the table a stranger, but you always leave as a friend. Take this knowledge with you to college, to new places and jobs, and throughout your life. Realize that you're going to find new people to call family, and you might even start your own, and realize that through it all, through everything that life throws at us, we always have those dinners to look forward to. There's always a spot at the table for you, and it's time for the graduating class to start running their own dinners. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.
That was a wonderful performance. Thank you for all the compliments. I've never been so proud to be called Grandpa.